Hi everyone, welcome in this short course on design thinking and in particular why we need design thinking. I'm Guido Stomp, I'm professor at In Holland University of Applied Sciences. Actually, there are two ways to explain why you need design thinking every now and then. The more down-to-earth simple reason, which I will start with, and a more elaborate reason, which has something to do with wicked problems. Let us start with the more simple one. To explain that best, you can best do a small exercise. So this is the question I have for you. Is there anything that you would really like to have improved on your smartphone? Really, really, really would like to have improved on your smartphone. Stop the video for a moment, give yourself a minute and answer this question. Now, I asked this question to many people before, and mostly things pop up like longer battery life, small when I don't need it, when I put it in my pocket, and large when I need it. Better cameras is very often asked. Make it unbreakable, make it flexible, turn the notifications off when I don't want them, and things like that. These are the kind of things that people always say. Probably you mentioned one of those as well, and maybe you are more inventive and came up with something more innovative than what I just mentioned. The reason why I did this exercise is to draw attention on something that Henry Ford said more than 100 years ago. He said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Now, what he meant by that is that if you ask people what they want, you get answers from the past. They cannot possibly imagine that those things, cars in those days that were very expensive, very unreliable, and dangerous as well, that would be something that would be a consumer good like it is today. What he tried to say is if you ask people, they will take a look in the back mirror. And with the smartphone exercise, I just asked you as well, but what I learned from all those people, I asked this question in meetings and in lectures I gave, the answers I get are just like what Henry Ford noted. They come from what we know already. We take a look at the back mirror rather than imagining what might be possible. So this is the very essence of why we need design thinking every now and then. People don't know what they want until they see what might be possible. How can they? They don't know what might be possible. So unless someone is developing new ideas, novel ideas, and expressing them in such a way that he can show it to these others, people simply don't know that they might want it. This is the very first reason why we need design thinking every now and then. You can't ask people what they want if it's something that has to solve problems or is something in the future which they don't know. Now, that was the first reason, the more down-to-earth version, but there is also a more elaborate reason why design thinking is needed every now and then. And this is the reason why it became so popular recently for social problems and challenges. We have to face it, today's world still is full of very difficult problems, social problems. Problems like climate change, problems like poverty, problems like criminality in cities and things like that. These problems are named wicked because they seem unsolvable. They change their face every time that someone is trying to do something about it. Well, the problem with these kind of problems, yes, the problem behind the problem is not so much that technically or objectively there is not a solution possible. No, the problem is that we people, we have different opinions about how to frame these kind of problems. What some consider good is considered bad by someone else. What some consider a problem is not considered a problem at all by others. What some consider a solution is considered simply another problem for another. So we have different frames, different perspectives on the same world. Let me give you an example. This is a problem that is becoming bigger and bigger in the Western society nowadays. Loneliness among the elderly. There are more and more people above 65 years of age who feel extremely lonely. Now, the thing is, how do we frame this? How can we make these people feel less lonely if we do need to do this? Well, I saw this documentary once on television where they used small robots who were doing exercises together with people in elderly homes in order to get them a little bit more social and a little bit more active. Is this a nice way of framing it? Loneliness among the elderly. The thing is, there are many more ways how we can frame this. It can be robots, that's where we spend the money on, but it can also be that we need to do something in the self-development of the elderly. Maybe we can do something with medication to make them feel less lonely. Maybe we have to do something that they can hook up on social media and get into contact with their grandchildren. Maybe we have to consider something like how caring homes are organized and how they feel when you come in. Maybe we have to give them something that gives them purpose through a task or even work in the society. Maybe we should do something to mobilize families. And I can go on and on and on. These are all different frames. And the thing is, we cannot possibly know upfront which frame is best. Yet every frame is decisive on what kind of problems do we see, what kind of solutions do we consider, and so on. So starting with a frame and saying that this is the frame we proceed in really shapes everything afterwards. And we don't know upfront which one is best. So what you can do about it is that you say, you know what, we're going to explore multiple frames. We're not going to do them all the way, but we're going to explore them. We frame, we analyze, we ideate a bit, we make some prototypes, and we test them in order to see if this works. And we don't do that for just one frame, we do that for multiple frames. And for those who didn't take a look at that course, I just explained the very essence of design thinking, how to do it. So in order to deal with these kind of problems, apparently design thinking is the way to go. Now, I hope that one of these two reasons I just gave you is good enough for you to understand why you as well might need to consider to use design thinking for some kind of problems you experience. Thank you for your time, and hopefully I see you in another course.